Hey guys, I am so excited to make these freezer meals. This is a pre-recorded class, so if you want the freebie with all of the recipes, the shopping list, the labels, click the link in the description below and I'll send it to you via email. Let's go ahead and get started. Hey, thanks so much for joining me. I am Kelly from the Family Freezer and I am so excited to show you how to make 12 keto freezer meals in 1 hour. Are you looking for new, easy keto recipes? If you haven't made keto freezer meals, this is going to blow your mind. This is a game changer. They're so easy. They're so great. And right after class, I'm going to send you this amazing freebie. It has all of the super simple recipes that I am making today. It has a full shopping list organized by aisle at the grocery store. It even has the labels you can print and attach to your bag so you'll know exactly how to cook the meals. Can you tell I'm excited? One of the best parts of class today is that you are going to catch that excitement. It's contagious. You're going to leave being excited. You're going to be motivated to make these meals. I hope you can stay till the very end of the hour. I'm going to share a deal with you. If you haven't joined my Freezer Meal Pro site, I'm going to help you make your next group of freezer meals. I'm going to share something like a bonus I've never shared before. So I'm very excited about that. But I think at this point we are ready for recipe number 1. That is our Buffalo Ranch shredded chicken. Oh yes. So what I'm gonna do is start with the buffalo sauce. How I will fill these bags is in an assembly line. So I'm gonna go through each recipe one by one, and then I will add the meat at the very end. Right now it is in my refrigerator, and I'm not gonna bring it out to room temperature until the end. So I just added 3/4 a cup of buffalo sauce. I use Sweet Baby Ray's. Honestly, it's probably the cheapest at the grocery store. It's a mild buffalo wing sauce. I thought my kids would like that one. So we did our wing sauce. We need 2 tablespoons of water. And I don't want you to stress during class today about writing these measurements down, because right after class, you're going to get that freebie. If you don't see it, check your spam, because I promise you I am sending it to you and you're going to have all the recipes. I really write down every detail for you. These are our seasonings: garlic powder, onion powder, salt, dill, parsley. Oh yes. This is all going into our freezer bag. And I want to tell you what sets these meals apart. And that is they are all frozen raw. Maybe in the past you've frozen casseroles, or you've made a big pot of soup and frozen the leftovers. I totally get that. I remember when I was first learning about freezer meals, let's say like 15 years ago, I had a friend and she actually did like bulk freezer meals. She would spend a weekend and she would make all of her meals for the next month. And on one hand, I was like, this is amazing. I was so impressed. I was like, this is great. But I also was like, I just don't think I can do that. Like, it just feels like so much time. It just feels like a little overwhelming, and it's going to make a big mess in my kitchen, and just, oh geez, like maybe I'm just not enough of an overachiever. So what I have developed over time has been this no-cook freezer meal method, and that just means everything is frozen raw. It can be frozen up to 3 months. It cooks the first time in your crock pot, your Instant Pot. I have some grill recipes, air fryer, oven, everything. But it cooks later, so it tastes exactly like a freshly prepared meal. You'll find these are delicious, and they're just so quick and easy to make. That's how I'm making 12 in an hour. I just chopped up 2 green onions. I put them into the bag. And we're gonna add our chicken breast later. The only other thing this recipe needs is 4 ounces of cream cheese. It says it on the recipe because you add that the day of cooking. It's like after you cook it in your Instant Pot, your crock pot, you add that cream cheese. We don't need to do it today. This recipe is done. I am going to interrupt myself for 1 minute to tell you about our Freezer Meal Pro membership. If you're ready to change your life with my style of freezer meals that can be frozen raw, a membership to Freezer Meal Pro will be your best friend. I see Freezer Meal Pro as the most expansive collection of easy and healthy freezer recipes online, and the tools you need to actually make them work in your life. With Freezer Meal Pro, You can filter all of my healthy freezer recipes based on protein, keyword, cooking method, and more. You can even combine filters to drill down on the exact type of meals that you want to make. These are delicious meals that you are going to love sharing with your family and friends. One of my favorite features of Freezer Meal Pro is that you can auto-generate shopping lists that you can print or save to access later on your phone. I honestly think everyone can benefit from freezer meals, whether you're making them every week, every month, or even every few months. We have tens of thousands of members worldwide, and if you want to join us, just go to thefamilyfreezer.com/pro and enter this coupon code to save 20% off the one-time fee, no strings attached. Recipe number 2 is our garlic butter steak bites. Yum, these are so good. You need 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Just add that right to your bag. And let's talk about these meals. So these are keto. I'm sure we have a range of people attending this class today. Maybe people have been doing keto for years. Maybe you've just heard about keto and you want to try it out. You want to eat healthier. I am obviously not a doctor. Actually, that's not true. Fun fact, I have a PhD, but it's in psychology. I'm not a medical doctor. So please don't say I'm not your medical doctor. And I am first let me tell you what I'm adding. I am adding 2 tablespoons unsalted butter, garlic powder, salt, and black pepper. This is all going into our freezer bag. My family, I have 5 kids. We don't even eat keto. My expertise here is freezer meals. So I definitely know what I'm doing with freezer meals, and I have hundreds and hundreds of recipes. I've tried thousands of meals over the years. So what I did is I picked keto recipes for you. You're going to love them. So when I was looking for recipes, I looked online. The Harvard School of Public Health gave us some info about keto, and it said generally popular ketogenic resources suggest an average of 70 to 80% fat from daily calories, 5 to 10% carbohydrates, and 10 to 20% protein. For a 2,000 calorie diet, this translates to about 165 grams of fat, 40 grams of carbohydrate, 75 grams of protein. So you can see under keto, they're saying carbs are very low. They're saying 40 grams of carb or less. So what I did for these recipes, I was looking for recipes with less than 10 grams of carbs per serving. Many have much less than that. I was looking for higher fat, and I provided full nutritional info. So in your freebie, you're going to have the nutrition info for every recipe to make sure it fits for your diet, for your lifestyle. And I suggested side dishes that would fit better with keto, low carb, higher fat. So I think you're going to love these. This is our second recipe, and all we need to do is add the steak for the steak bites, which I'll do at the end. The day of cooking, you add some beef broth, but that is in your freebie, which you will find. So let's do recipe number 3. Okay, which is lemon garlic butter chicken. And we need 6 tablespoons of olive oil. If we haven't met before, hello. I'm so excited you're here. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming to my kitchen. I'll tell you a little bit more about me. So I started the family freezer 11 years ago. Like, where does the time go? At the time, I had 2 children. My oldest daughter was 2. My second daughter was a baby. And I remember at the time just feeling like there was no time. I mean, I was trying to work. I was trying to take care of my daughters, trying to keep my house semi-clean, do laundry, cook dinner. I mean, there was just no time for the things I really wanted to be doing. I am very good at organizing. And I just thought there has to be a way. Like, if I wasn't cooking dinner every night, I could be meeting a friend and going for a walk. I could stop at my grandparents' house. I could call my mom. I could sit down with my husband. I could go outside with my girls. It just felt like the world would open up to me if I had that 1 hour. And at the time, I had been making crock pot recipes. Just put everything in the crock pot, turn it on. And I thought, well, if they're going the crock pot raw, could they go in the freezer raw and cook later? And it was a light bulb moment. So let me add this and I'll continue my story, because I have to point out this zester that I bought to impress you today. I've never owned a lemon zester. I just got it on Amazon, but I was like, hey, let's give it a shot. So I don't even know if I know how to do it. Let's see. Let's see if I can zest this lemon. Come on. I need your applause. Please. This actually is great. Oh my gosh. So in the past, I just used a section of my cheese grater. This is so much better. Why didn't you guys tell me? Why didn't you tell me? My life has changed. I'm so glad we have this on video. The first time I used the zester. Aw. Oh, what a special moment. Okay, so let me do the zest, and then I'm going to add our seasonings, which are garlic powder, salt, and black pepper, and tell you that when I had this idea, this realization about dinner, what I did is I picked 5 of my crock-pot recipes. I went to the grocery store. I made those meals that weekend. I think it took me 45 minutes. And that next week, I made the meals, and it changed my life. Like, it really was amazing, to the point that I'm still making them today. So after 11 years, we now have 5 children. My husband and I run this business together. My life has not slowed down. It's just as busy. And I am sure we have people here today who are even in another phase of life. Maybe you're retired. Maybe you have grandkids. And it's not that you have more time. You might be busier than ever because that's life, right? It's always busy. So what I'm trying to tell you is that these meals work. They will work over time. They're one thing that just like keeps going and is always just like such a shortcut and so much help. I'm adding the seasoning to the bag, and the day of cooking, we're going to add some butter and chicken broth. That's it. We already have everything in the bag. I think we're ready for recipe number 4, and that is our chicken spinach Alfredo. My 2 older daughters are going to be thrilled that I'm making this in today's class. It's one of their favorite recipes. It's so good. All we need is some heavy cream. I'm using the whole pint. I always try to use entire ingredients when I can. I don't like anything to go to waste. And I really don't even like anything left over in my fridge or pantry because I might forget about it. It might go bad. You know, right? I mean, I'm a busy lady, okay? You understand. And then I'm gonna do garlic. So in some of these recipes, it'll say minced garlic, and then I give you the option to either like do the minced fresh garlic cloves, or if you wanna save time, especially when you're making a lot of meals, I do like substituting the jarred minced garlic. Right on the recipe, it says to add a teaspoon of this, or you could do garlic powder. That option is in your recipe. We need some fresh Parmesan cheese and our seasonings, which are parsley, salt, and pepper. Now, I told you I started making these meals for myself. What I also did at the time is I had a new blog. I started blogging, and what I found is that I wasn't alone. Everyone needed these dinner shortcuts. So it really became a full-fledged business for me and my husband. Today we have over 400,000 newsletter subscribers. Like, it's mind-blowing. We have over 100,000 members who have joined Freezer Meal Pro. We've made $1 million in cookbooks. I was on the Rachel Ray show. But we've been featured on TodayShow.com, Costco Connection. It's just crazy. And I just want to even express gratitude for you being here today, for supporting me, for showing up, for being interested in these meals, for encouraging me. I'm going to share some stories today of people who have emailed me like, you're the best. I'm doing this for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm just full of gratitude. In this recipe, we needed spinach. We're using the entire bag. It really cooks down. It's great. It's so good in this meal. Cooked spinach in the crock pot. We also have Instant Pot option. It's so good. Let's see if we need anything else. I think that's it. Yes, so good. All right, recipe number 4 is done. Let's move on to number 5. I'm gonna just go right through these. Oh wait, you guys, why didn't you tell me I need my seasonings? They're still in the bowl. you gotta be like, Kelly, come on, I need a little help here. All right, vegetarian spinach, artichoke, white bean stew, yum. Okay, this is so good. Maybe, let's see, have you thought the crock-pot recipes are bland, mushy, all taste the same? You will not hurt my feelings if you say that. Maybe you have a spouse who thinks that. Maybe you have a partner. I have heard it all. We're adding 3 cans cannellini beans, drained and rinsed. My daughter actually was in class with a boy who said when I come home from school and the crock pot is on, I go to my room and I cry because I think it's going to taste terrible. But she's like, my mom has a crock pot business. But these are not those bland, mushy recipes. They're delicious. They're full of flavor. And that's why you're going to love them and why you're going to keep making them over and over and over again. We added our 3 cans of beans. We're going to do 2 jars of artichokes. These have already been drained. I did as much prep work ahead of time as I could for this class. I knew I was going to be talking and I didn't want to mess up. So I always use the can opener on my canned beans or any canned good for that matter, because I had a class once where my can opener broke. So needless to say, I learned my lesson. I prepare ahead of time now. We need frozen spinach. Let's see, I have it in here. We're just gonna add a frozen block of spinach. I had someone tell me that normally people do not eat beans on keto. I am including them in this recipe, and that is because it fits within the nutritional info. Every recipe in today's class has less than 10 net carbs per serving, so that worked. And in this particular recipe, not having meat is a vegetarian meal. Helped with keeping the protein a little bit lower, the fat a little bit higher. You're gonna love this one. And I really wanted to include a variety of flavors for you. So we're making 12 meals, but they have Italian influences, American, Asian. Like, I wanted you to be able to eat these every single night of the week if you want. You don't have to, but if you had a very busy week, if you had surgery, if you have a daughter or daughter-in-law who's having a baby, these meals are great. You can eat them again and again. We're adding 1 tablespoon of red wine vinegar. So really giving you a lot of variety. And our seasonings are onion powder, crushed red pepper flakes, and black pepper. Ooh, this is a good one. All the recipes have suggested side dishes with them so that you know that also can vary the texture, really makes it easy to make dinner. And the day of cooking, you'll add some broth, cream cheese, grated parm, and whole milk. That's all on here. It's all on your label. It's so simple. If someone else is putting this in the crock pot or the Instant Pot for you, they're going to know exactly what needs to be added the day of cooking. You can print on these labels if you're an overachiever like me. Otherwise, you just print them, you tape them on with clear shipping tape. It's so simple. Or just keep the recipes. You don't even need labels. Maybe just write on the bags the name of the recipe and keep the recipes close by so that you know what you need to add. Sometimes you don't need to add anything, but some of them you do. Okay, so Becky sent me a message I have to share today. And Becky said, I just have to tell you, your meals have been such a blessing for our family. I don't have a lot of time after work in the evening to cook, and I felt like I had to choose between healthy meals for my family and spending time with my daughter. These are so hands-off, whether in the crock pot or Instant Pot, and every single one we've made has been delicious. They have been such a money saver as well. We're a family of 3, so I cut them in half and get double the meals. Thank you. Can't express how grateful I am for your meals. Thank you, Becky, for taking the time to send me that. I really appreciate it. I'm actually going to share some tips for adapting the recipes if you are cooking for less people. So that's great. Let's do recipe number 6, our Italian sausage and peppers. I have some other stories people have sent me. Maybe I can read them while I'm adding our peppers. So our sweet peppers, our bell peppers are orange, which I already sliced, yellow, and the red one, which I'm going to slice in one moment. So let's see. Maureen said, my whole family gave this 2 thumbs up. Their only complaint was that there wasn't enough for more. So Maureen's family wants leftovers. That's great. Lori, I made this in the crock pot yesterday. It was amazing. And then Carol said, this is one of the first recipes I tried. I love it. I love cooking and cooked for a large family most of my life. I made many frozen meals, but not frozen raw. I am now widowed and cook for 1. This recipe I split into 3 disposable storage tins. I do this sort of thing with many of my freezer meals because it gives me an assortment of homemade meals for lunch and dinner without buying the unflavored frozen dinners at the grocery store. I love fresh frozen meals. Amazing. Yes. So you can really make these work, whether you are cooking for a big family like mine, or if you're only cooking for 1 or 2, I can share some tips with you. So most of the recipes have 6 servings. I think even if you're cooking for 4 people, that's totally fine. And isn't it amazing to have leftovers? Like, any other leftover lovers, they're so good for lunch, or even dinner. If you don't want to cook another day that week, you can eat the leftovers. If, however, I understand if you're only cooking for 1 person or maybe even 2 people and you don't want a lot of leftovers, there are ways to make that work. So my first suggestion is to split each recipe into 2 freezer bags. So you're still making the full recipe, you just split it into 2 bags and you can cook it same cooking directions. That way you're still using all of your ingredients. So if a recipe calls for a can of beans or a pound of meat, you're not left thinking, okay, if I only made half, what would I do with the rest of it? It's like you just split into 2 bags, use all the ingredients, you cook them the same, and you have double the meals, right? There was a time when my grandparents were living at home, and that's exactly what I did. I picked 10 recipes, I split them into 20 bags, I took some over in batches, and it was just a really easy way to cut the recipes down for less people. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay. We already have our peppers. And then I want to share a tip for you about onions. So this calls for a sliced onion. Whenever I'm doing a big batch of meals, I will buy these frozen diced onions. They're very inexpensive, often like $1 a bag. I just buy them at my local grocery store chain. This bag is 12 ounces. It has about 3.5 cups. I consider that to be 3.5 onions. I typically will add like a cup in place of 1 onion. I will tell you, I planned it. So these recipes today have 3 onions. We're going to use this whole bag. I'll probably just add a little bit more to each one. No, I don't want any leftovers today. So that's a really easy way to save time. Otherwise you're crying and you're just chopping. It takes a lot of extra time. So that's a really time-saving tip. Let's add garlic. I'm going to do my minced garlic, another time saver. This is all in your freebie. It's all in your shopping list to just make, when you're making your meals, a total breeze. We need basil and oregano, half a teaspoon of each. And then I will add the sausage links when I add the meat at the end. Right? I love, this recipe is so good. This is one that can be in the oven, so great in the oven. Also crock pot, Instant Pot. So I tried to give you a lot of options with your cooking options. Let's move this and get recipe number 7, which is our keto Mississippi roast. Oh yeah, I just made this again the other night for dinner, and I was like, this is like a last meal. Like if you're on death row, this is what you want to eat. It's just so good. So maybe you've heard of Mississippi roast before. A lot of times online, a Mississippi roast, the seasonings will be store-bought packets, seasoning packets. So a dry ranch seasoning packet and an au jus seasoning packet. We're going to do them from scratch and I'll explain. So we are adding a stick of butter. This is unsalted butter. Just dump it in. And then our seasonings, what I'm doing is giving you the seasonings that would be in those packets. So I have both beef bouillon granules, parsley, onion powder, garlic powder, dill. I use dill weed. Salt and pepper. And I don't know if you can see in here, but this is like a full bowl of seasoning. It's so delicious and flavorful. That is all going in here. And then I'm going to add some pepperoncini, peppers, and even a couple tablespoons of the juice. I washed my hands before class, so I'm just going to grab them and throw them in. Let's see how many I'm supposed to add 4. Okay. We'll add 4. And then 2 tablespoons of juice. How I change it, so why I'm calling it keto is a lot of Mississippi roasts will have carrots, which are delicious. If you're not eating keto, throw the carrots in there. However, if you're watching your carbs, the carrots are going to really skyrocket the carbs and the nutrition. So I took out the carrots so that you don't have to worry about that and made this work. It's so good. You're going to love it. Let's see if we need anything else. Oh, just a teaspoon of soy sauce. So I have a question. Does anybody love saving money? If you say no, there is something wrong with you. Like, come on, right? Everybody, saving money is the best. I don't think that's just because I have 5 kids. I think this is like everyone loves saving money. So when I went shopping for these meals, I spent $194 total. That was on everything. I did not use any coupons. I did not run into any sales. So if you have coupons and sales, and if you even shop at other stores, like maybe go to discount stores, bulk stores, you can save so much money. But even $194 for 12 meals is fabulous, right? That works out to $16.16 per meal with 6 servings, or $2.69 per serving. You cannot beat that. Even if you have to add a side dish, that's such an easy way to save money. I will just admit to this. My family ordered Chinese food for takeout last weekend. We spent $94 on one meal. Granted, we have 7 people. I'm sure I paid for delivery. I gave a tip. Okay. But I could order Chinese 2 times, $294, or I could buy the ingredients to make all 12 of these meals. It's crazy. You can see how you can save so much money. I'm not telling you don't eat out or order takeout if it fits within your diet. My hope for you would be that you can even mix these in, because then I don't feel bad about getting takeout or going out to eat or those other splurges, because most of my meals are much more affordable. I will tell you that the average American spends $3,000 a year eating out. My family spends so much more than that. Like, it's just so expensive, right? But if you can mix in these meals, it's just a really easy way to save money. So let's move on. I'll get off my soapbox. And let's do recipe number 8, creamy roasted red pepper chicken. Oh, my daughters also love this. My 11-year-old, my 13-year-old, they're gonna be so pumped. They're gonna like maybe think I'm cool. I don't know. They probably still won't think I'm cool, but they'll be happy that I'm making them good food. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Just put that right in there. Let's add a jar of roasted red peppers, drained and chopped. I did that ahead of time, and then I put them back in the jar. I don't know, maybe I'm trying to impress you. I think I wanted you to see that they were in what they came in, that they came in this jar, but I did drain them and chop them just to save a little bit of time. We're gonna add 2 cups of chicken broth right to the bag. And then I'm gonna add another one of those cups of onions. Like I said, my kids really love these recipes. They're great for picky eaters. I will say some kids are pickier than others. My middle daughter is the pickiest, but you just keep trying. They're gonna eat it eventually. I think you will find these work for most kids. Most, even adults who are pickier, will love these meals. They're crowd pleasers. They're great. They're really good. So for our seasonings, we need crushed red pepper flakes and oregano. Dump that right in. And then garlic. Move this out of the way, maybe. Okay, I had another message from Angela. Angela said, these meals are amazing. My family now asks for them. Not only are they pleasing to the palate, they are completely budget friendly. We saved a bundle of money and time. I can't wait to make more. Amazing. Thank you, Angela, for sharing that with us. Let's add our onion and see if there's anything left. Oh yeah, we have 2 green onions. Okay, so we're gonna use 2 more green onions from our bunch. We have a couple left over, but I will show you. So in my membership site, Freezer Meal Pro, you can actually search by ingredient. So I can show you how you would, if you're a member, how you could use up the very few green onions that we'll have left over after we make these meals today. But I'm just gonna quickly chop these up. And I think I already added everything else to the recipe. So what makes it creamy is cream cheese. There are 6 ounces of cream cheese that are added the day of cooking. You just stir it in at the end of cooking, either in the Instant Pot or the crock pot. You just stir it in and then you serve. So easy. Okay. Let's add this in. And then we're gonna move on to recipe number 9. Okay. That is our chimichurri skirt steak. This is a fun one because you can make it on the grill, right? It is the last of our onions. You need 1 onion. I'm just gonna scoop what's left in here. I'm cleaning up as I go. You might see me adding things to my sink. You will find the cleanup so fast from these recipes because you can put most things in your dishwasher and that's it. So on the day of cooking, you're gonna have very little cleanup too, just your crock pot or your Instant Pot. That's a huge bonus. This recipe calls for a cup of fresh cilantro. So I am just gonna kind of eyeball, I think I'm just gonna eyeball a cup. It just says like a rough chop. I'm just gonna chop the top of it, see what looks like a cup. Did you know that cilantro is a genetic thing? There's like a genetic element of if you like cilantro or not. My grandma did one of those genetic tests and she found out that it said like you are likely to like cilantro, which she does. I know it's a little bit of a controversial ingredient because some people don't like it, but it's great in this recipe. And then we'll do some parsley too. Same thing, about a cup. I'm just gonna, I don't know, eyeball it and add it to our freezer bag. We'll save that for later. And do we have any Instant Pot lovers here? I really like using mine when I forget to put something in my crock pot. So if I just totally drop the ball, there's nothing in my crock pot, I have no idea what's for dinner, I immediately think, okay, what is in my freezer that I can just put in my Instant Pot? It's the best. It's just, like comes to the rescue. And so I really did include those cooking options. I think pretty much every recipe today has a crock pot and Instant Pot instruction for you. And then if I could include like grill for this recipe I did, there's some oven, air fryer, stovetop. I tried to give you every single option possible that I could that would work for the recipe just to make your life a little bit easier. I'm wearing my freezer cooking apron. My mom makes these. She sells them on Etsy. They're a bestseller. They often sell out. If you can get one, click the link in your freebie because you'll love it. I think she's sold over 1,000 now, which is crazy. She's only one person, but they're really, really great. I'm always wiping my hands when I'm using it. All right. Recipe number 10. Let's do it. Creamy coconut white bean and cauliflower curry. Oh, wait. Hold on. Oops. I messed up. I already know. There's no oil in here. I'm like, this needs some liquid. So before we move on, let me back up 1 second. We still need to add a cup of olive oil. I'm so proud of myself. I caught myself here. So I'm going to add, half a cup of olive oil. I also need half a cup of red wine vinegar. Okay. And a tablespoon of dried basil. Let's see if there was anything else. Oh, garlic. I really got ahead of myself on this one, didn't I? Like getting all excited. Okay, red wine vinegar. We need our dried basil. We already did the onion, minced garlic. Oh, okay, this is it. We just have to add our minced garlic and then we're done. Okay, cool. Back on track. Luckily, I caught myself. There have been times in the past where I haven't. I just keep going. All right, let's do our creamy coconut white bean and cauliflower curry. We need more canned beans. These were drained and rinsed. We're gonna do 3 cans. And then I'm going to add a cup of chicken broth. I think you'll find these recipes work really well for different diets. So I picked these recipes specifically to work with the keto diet, but a lot of my recipes are naturally gluten-free, dairy-free. I have diabetic-friendly recipes, paleo. I can show you on my membership site. There's so many. They work with Whole30, vegetarian, vegan. I mean, you're going to find a meal that works for you. They all can be frozen raw. So there's just recipes for everybody, really. Okay, what else do we need? Some curry paste. I'm going to add an entire jar, 4 ounces green curry paste. You can add, the recipe says green or yellow. I'm going to do green because that is personally my favorite. Let's add this. I didn't have to go to any special stores. This was right from my local grocery store. It was like there was an aisle that had like Asian foods or something. That's where I got it. We need a little bit of light brown sugar. I hesitate to use any kind of sugar in this class, but it's only 1.5 tablespoons. It's split between all of the servings. And like I promised you, there is nutritional info for every single recipe, so you can make sure the total sugars, wait, maybe I should tell you carb. Let's see what carbs are in this recipe. So each serving has 8 grams of carbs, which if you're trying to have less than 40 grams for keto, 8 is not bad, I don't think, for a serving of a meal, like an actual meal. So we have that. We need a tablespoon of jarred minced ginger. I love ginger. Any other ginger lovers out there? Oh my gosh, it's so good, right? I even love ginger, like the hard candies. Ooh, so good. Only thing that compares is like black licorice, my other love. Okay, we're gonna add some jarred minced garlic, a full tablespoon. Then we're going to add frozen cauliflower, 2 bags. Each one is 10 ounces. The 10-ounce bags at my store were the ones that you could steam in a bag, but I don't know. We're not doing that. We're just throwing them in here. And we need a cup of chicken broth. I think that's everything. Let me double check. Yeah, that's everything. The day of cooking, you also add a can of unsweetened coconut milk, which makes it so creamy, so delicious. I already bought that. That was actually included in the amount of money that I spent to make these meals. I already bought it so that I'm ready to make this for dinner whenever I need to. When I need an easy meal, this is it. It's probably going to be the next 12 days. Like, let's get real, right? It's like every day. All right, I think we are ready for, I'm going to start putting the meat together in these meals. My husband, Andy, so kindly grabbed the meat from, maybe sit down here, from the refrigerator and brought it over. My fridge is like back here behind the camera, so unfortunately I can't go and grab it myself. But for recipe number 11, it's a smoky bacon wrapped chicken tender. So I need to do the meat. This is the point when like things get messy, right? That's why we do it all at once. I'm going to make these bacon wrapped chicken tenders, and it is exactly what it sounds. Chicken tenders wrapped in bacon. So how it works is in this bag, I put some seasoning, and that includes smoked paprika, cumin, onion powder, kosher salt, right in this bag. And then what I'm going to do is put the chicken tenders in this bag and just kind of like shake it up just to get them coated. And this is 2 pounds of chicken tenders. I just bought 2 containers from my local grocery store. I don't know, you might be worried about freezer space. So we have a very large freezer in our kitchen, and I have a chest freezer in my garage. However, I have a freezer meal business. So obviously that is not the norm. That's not the average person. I understand that. I can tell you, whenever I was pregnant with my 3rd daughter, these are all new, like this is all new. We just redid our kitchen, so our new freezer is totally new. But when I was pregnant with my 3rd daughter, I decided to be a total overachiever, and I made 28 freezer meals, and these were all made in our extra refrigerator freezer. So at the time we had an extra refrigerator freezer. Andy, can you be my assistant? Yeah. I don't want to touch this with my hands. So can you kind of seal this and then shake it up? This is great. This is Andy's debut on he's normally behind the camera, but I'm going to ask him for his help just because my hands are messy and I don't want to.
Am I doing it right?
Yeah, you got this. Just really, keep it up.
Give it a good shake.
Show off your muscles.
Okay.
All right, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Oh, can you open it?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you.
There you are.
A hand for Andy, please. Applause. We need some sound effects. My kids have asked me before, can I stay home from school and do sound effects on your videos? Can we be like, yum, or like, wow? I said, can you do fake laughter? So when I make jokes, you're like, ha, 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 ha. But anyway, I shake them up in the seasoning. I'm just going to wrap each one in bacon, which of course makes it taste delicious. These can be cooked in the oven or the air fryer. Whenever we were renovating our kitchen, I made these in the air fryer. Fun fact, our neighbor was over at the time. My son is 7 years old, and his friend next door, he was over at the time, and they ate them. I made them in the air fryer, and they were like, oh, those are so good. Like, I think the next time his friend came over, he's like, do you have any more of that that bacon chicken. So I guess I'm gonna have to make this for the boys sometime. Either, you know, he can come over for dinner again or lunch on a weekend or something. But these are so good. Let me wrap these up. Okay, so anyway, I'm wrapping them in the bacon. Let me get back to my story. I made 28 freezer meals. I was pregnant with my daughter. I put them all in our basement freezer. They fit in there, and that's 28 meals. I mean, you guys, I was being such an overachiever, right? Come on. I'm way more relaxed now. I don't know if I could go to that level, but this is only 12 meals. And the great thing about freezing them in these bags is you can freeze them flat. I'll show you how to squeeze the air out. I'll show you how to lay them, pat them down flat so that you can really get as many as you can in your freezer. If you were going to make some fresh, you could just put them in your refrigerator. I believe they will last, 2 or 3 days. So you could put some in your fridge. You can give some away as gifts. And this is everyone's favorite part of the show, the segment I like to call Tough Love. That is when I tell you, if you don't have space in your freezer, you need to clean it out. I know it's not fun. Honestly, I need to have some tough love with myself too, because I hate doing that. It sounds terrible. It probably won't take as long as we think, right? You need to go through your freezer. You need everything that's old and expired. Everything that's in there that you're never going to eat, but you're keeping it. You have to get rid of it today and just say, Kelly told me, that lady said it's okay. And I just want to point out, I have the exact amount of bacon as I do for chicken tenders. So if there's an opportunity to play the lottery today, Andy, go out and buy a lottery ticket. It's Kelly's lucky day. It all lined up, okay? So I just got lucky here. But if it didn't end up, you could have maybe some chicken not wrapped in bacon. Maybe you could do double chicken wrapped in one piece of bacon. Make it work. You're smart. I know you can do it. You can make it work. So you're going to clean out your freezer. You're going to get rid of anything old, anything expired, anything you're never going to eat, anything with freezer burn. Then you're going to eat what's actually in there. If you have a frozen pork roast in there, make it for dinner tomorrow. Make it for dinner next week. You're going to save some money too. That's what I did just recently. I went through and I found a boneless pork roast. Okay, this is done. We are ready for recipe number 10 while my hands are messy, which is our ranch burgers. I'm going to try and not touch anything while my hands are like this besides meat. So with our ranch burgers, I already put everything in this bowl. It was our ground beef and then all of our seasonings. Now there is no actual ranch dressing. Why they're ranch burgers is the seasonings. It's all of the seasoning that would be in ranch dressing. So like parsley, onion powder, garlic powder, dill weed, salt, pepper. That's what makes it a ranch. So whenever you do, okay. You put the beef in here, you put the seasonings in here, you mix it up, then you split it into 6 pieces. We're gonna make 6 burgers. And what I did, I already made some, but I just rolled them into balls. If you make it into a ball, it's kind of easier than to press it. Ooh, that was terrible. It's like a blooper. Oh, okay. Anyway, there's no overhead camera. Try and make it into a circle. I think this is my 7-year-old, maybe he won't know. Anyway, try and make it in kind of a circle. Then you just wrap it in the plastic wrap and we're going to put that in our freezer bag and for later. Now I'm going to continue with the meat while my hands are so messy and I'm just going to add them to every bag and then I'll wash my hands. But let's go ahead and add our meat. So this is a roast. We're doing this for our Mississippi roast. To be honest, I have a beef chuck roast on your recipe, but I bought a round roast. It just looked so good. It was like very little fat. So if you're comfortable picking meat, then I would say buy what's on sale, buy what looks good. If you're not, if you're newer to cooking, then just do what I wrote on your recipe. I promise all of these recipes have been tried many times. When I wrote them, I wanted to make sure you would love them. I made them super simple so that anyone can make them. Maybe you think you're not good at cooking. I promise you, you can make these. They're not intimidating. Most have 10 ingredients or less. Super, super simple. I mean, I'm not a chef, okay? I think that's like the moral of the story. The moral of this class is if this lady can do it, I can do it too. Right? Right? Oh my gosh, there's nothing. I just have 5 kids. I'm like this crazy lady and I can make all these meals. You got this, right? In comparison, you're like, if that lady can do it, I really can do it. So I'm just kind of making a mess here, but trimming off some of the fat. The rest I will get the day of cooking. I'm going to add this to the correct bag. Hold on, I gotta read the labels. Keto. Oh, there it is, it's hidden. My keto roast. I am doing boneless chicken thighs. This is in the lemon butter chicken. Oh, it's so good. Let me add those. This is 2 pounds. I'm not gonna trim the fat because these look really good. Gonna go ahead and add them. Then we're gonna do our chicken breast. I have 3 recipes with chicken breast today, and I'm just gonna add 1 packet to each one. They're between like a pound and a half, maybe a pound and a half or 2 pounds. So make sure we get our 6 servings. So our recipes with chicken breast are the buffalo chicken, which we are eating ASAP. My kids have already requested that one. And we also have, tell you what's next is, well, oh, I know, what was it called? Chicken spinach Alfredo. Oh, that's such a good one. All right, let me put the chicken in there. And then 1 more pack of chicken is for, oh, our roasted red pepper chicken. And the great thing about doing the meat like this, so I did an assembly line. My hands are only getting messy once. My cutting board is only getting messy once. We don't have to worry about cross-contamination. All the meat is happening right now. I'm going to wash my hands when I'm done. I'm adding the sausage to the Italian sausage and peppers. It's all happening now, so that's for food safety. We don't have to worry about that. And again, all these meals will be cooked later. Sometimes people are nervous. They're like, I don't know, I'm not used to doing freezing raw meat or putting raw meat with my other ingredients. But remember, all of these meals are going to be cooked, right? It's just like any other raw meat that you cook. It's going to be cooked before you eat it. So I hope that alleviates any concerns you have. This is the meat for our skirt steak. So I'm going to put that in our chimichurri. That had really high ratings on my membership site, Freezer Meal Pro. That was a fan fave. And then this is the beef for the steak bites. I am going to, it's the only one I'm gonna cut before freezing. You saw I just added the breasts whole to the bags. Typically with chicken recipes, in some beefs like the keto Mississippi roast, I just wait until after cooking it. And I will shred the meat or slice it. That's how you could have 2 pounds of chicken breasts that are 3 breasts, but they serve 6 people because it ends up getting shredded, cooks down, and really goes a long way. So all I'm doing is cutting these into cubes, maybe an inch or less. I'm eyeballing it. There is no need to be perfect. I will say many people email me, message me, and say, how do you make the meal so fast? So I have tips like using the frozen diced onions or using the minced garlic, but my other tip is just not to don't sweat the small stuff. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to look the same. I will tell you that's just not me, but it doesn't have to be you either. You can just blame me and be like, look, if Kelly just makes it all in a pile and it just cuts them up, and I saw her and she didn't even care and she wasn't measuring them, then I hope that gives you permission to do it too. I'm going to cut this up and add it to our bag, and I'll show you how I seal the bag so I don't end up with freezer burn, but I'm probably only going to show you 1 or 2 because I want to make sure I save time to show you my membership site. It's seriously one of a kind. So I'm going to grab my laptop and go through it. It'll be a great refresher for any members who are here. Maybe Andy, my husband, he's giving me the thumbs up. Yes. Andy is like the VIP MVP of today's class. He's very excited he's MVP. But he can finish sealing the meals. So that way I'm not wasting any more time. Once I show you how to seal 1 or 2, you're going to understand how to get the air out. It's very simple once you see how it's done. So I'm going to add this in here, and then what I'm going to do, is wash my hands, and I'll show you how they're sealed. You might have noticed I used reusable freezer bags. These are actually our own brand. We worked with a manufacturer to make these. I couldn't find any that existed that I liked. So you know what? We just had to make our own. And they are reusable. The link is in your freebie if you want to buy some, because they can be used over and over again. The same thing, these stands are family freezer stands. They're white, they're beautiful. They hold your bags upright. They're the best. So, okay, give me 1 second to get situated so you can see what I'm doing. Let me move some of my stuff over. Okay, let's start with this bag here. Whenever I am sealing these, what I do is you're gonna seal across the top so you get like maybe 2 inches from the end. Then you squeeze the air out and seal the rest of the way. That's all you have to do. You don't need any kind of fancy sealer. I had one of those vacuum sealers, but they don't work the best for meals with a lot of liquid like my meals are. So that's all you have to do. For the burgers, I'm just gonna put these in the bag. They're already pre-wrapped. And I'm gonna seal them in the same way. And then I'm going to have, like I said, Andy, our MVP, is going to be sealing the rest of these, because I'm gonna grab my laptop and I'm gonna grab my other mic, because I want to just quickly show you how my membership site works. I know you're gonna love it, so I really want to do that quickly. This is Freezer Meal Pro. You can log in and see all of my easy and healthy meals that can be frozen raw. I just want to show you how I would use it to plan my next prep session. Anytime I log in, I am probably starting by looking at the recipes. I mean, that's a really easy place to start. Just looking at the photos, you can see this keto Mississippi roast that we made today. The ranch burgers, you're not going to eat on the bun, but that photo is here. And just kind of like scrolling through, looking at the photos and seeing like what jumps out at me, what looks good. I already know I want to make the salsa marinade pulled chicken. You probably wouldn't want the corn tortillas, but let's click in so I can show you what a recipe looks like. Now, all of our recipes have super simple ingredients, exactly what you need to know to freeze it to cook it later. This one can be cooked in the Instant Pot, in the crock pot, or the oven. So many options, full nutritional info. This recipe has 7 grams of carbs, so that would fit in with our less than 10 carbs per serving goal in this keto class today. So I know I want to make this. I'm going to add it to my recipe collection. I'm going to add this to Keto Freezer Meals. And I want to show you some other search options. There's so many. So let's go to our advanced search. And I'll just show you some of our options on the site. So one is diet. You can do dairy-free, diabetic, gluten-free, ketogenic, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, or whole food, which is similar to Whole30. Let's go to ketogenic and filter the recipes and see what looks good. Again, looking at the photos, these shrimp fajitas definitely jumped out at me. We didn't do any Mexican meals during class, and they're a sheet pan meal, which is great to have on hand. They're really delicious. We didn't do anything with shrimp. Again, super simple ingredients, exactly how to freeze them. These are cooked in the oven, that sheet pan meal. Let's look at the nutritional info. 9 grams of carbs. There's 17 protein, 15 fat. I'm going to say this looks good and add it to my keto freezer meal collection. And I want to show you some other search options. So in class, I told you we didn't have any sales of what I was buying. I wasn't shopping sales, but I saw that we have a chicken sale coming up at my grocery store. Buy one, get one free, all natural chicken. So I would love to shop that sale. I would love to save money. It's such an easy way with freezer meals. So if I search for that little chicken icon, again, I am just looking at these recipes. I'm like, what looks good? What would my kids like? This sheet pan Italian chicken and cauliflower is jumping out. I know my kids like this recipe. It is super simple. Oh my gosh, it includes olives, which I love. Cook in the oven, nutritional info. Okay, 9 grams of carbs, 39 protein, 21 fat. Let's make this. Let's add this to our keto freezer meals. And so great because we're going to save money. What other search options can I show you? Let's go back to our search options. Okay, I know. You can search by keyword. So during our class, I'm pretty sure the only thing we really had left over today were the green onions. So let's say we want to use up our green onions. We don't want anything going to waste. I'm going to search just by keyword and see what comes up. Just looking at these recipes, I already know I want to do these Korean beef lettuce wraps. They are delicious. They're so good. Let's go ahead and look. Okay, they call for a cup of green onions. Fabulous. We have all our info, 6 grams of carbs, 34 protein, 8 fat. Let's add this to our keto freezer meals. And I'll show you some more search options. There are so many good ones. Let's go over some of them. Okay, so I showed you diet. Cookbook. This is if you own one of my cookbooks and you're looking for a recipe. Cooking method. I'll show you that in a second. Protein. So I showed you that little chicken icon, but there's beef, chicken, lamb, pork, seafood, turkey, vegetarian, cuisine. If you're looking for a different flavor like American, Asian, Caribbean, Indian, Italian, Mediterranean, Mexican, Middle Eastern, North African, you guys, you can eat these every night of the week. There's so many options. And then online class, if you wanted to look up like this keto class and see what I made, you could find it here. But I wanted to show you cooking methods. So we have air fryer, crock pot, grill, Instant Pot, oven, stovetop. I'm going to go to Instant Pot, search that way for recipes and just see what looks good, see what I want to make next. I'm going to go for this Latin style pulled chicken. I mean, chicken's going to be on sale, so I could save some money with this too. Super simple recipe. Crockpot, Instant Pot. Let's look at the nutritional info. 6 grams of carbs, 33 protein, 4 fat. Let's add this to our keto collection, and then I'm going to show you where things really, really get good. If you thought it was good, the search options were good, wait till you see this. Let's go to our recipe collections and go to this keto freezer meal, one that I just created. We have our 5 recipes here. Now, I told you chicken is going to be buy one, get one in my grocery store. So I can save a ton of money. I am going to duplicate this item. I'm going to make 2 freezer bags of Latin style pulled chicken. I'm going to do the same thing with this Italian chicken and cauliflower and the salsa verde pulled chicken. Now I'm going to make 2 freezer bags of each one. They are good for 3 months. You guys, I can eat this 2 times in 3 months. I honestly could eat it once a month, probably even more than that. Sometimes I eat the same thing every week. So I'm going to duplicate those. Basically, if this is buy one, get one, it's almost like getting a meal for free. It's almost like these meals are free, and it's such an easy way to take advantage of sales and save money. The other thing I want to show you here is how you can adjust the servings. So if I was going to make the Korean beef lettuce wraps, let's say I'm going to give this to my parents, I could decrease this in half. Let's say we'll do 3 servings, and you can adjust it right here. And I'll show you where that matters because we can go to shopping list. And what I'm going to do is generate a shopping list exactly for the meals I just made. So with the duplicates, with the serving changes, this, in a matter of seconds, is generating a full shopping list. Does anyone else hate writing shopping lists? This is magic. It just created it for us with those double meals, with that decrease in servings. Everything we need from the shopping is right here. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. So then what you can do is cross off what you have on hand. Now, I almost always have all of my seasonings on hand. I would probably double check before I went to the grocery store, but I even have this adobo, I know that. So I can do that. And the same thing, let's do our, what else? Is that it? Let's look around. Oh, I know. I wanted to do the green onions because we had those left over from the class. So I know I don't have to buy that. I don't have to buy water. Probably these oils and vinegars too, I already have on hand, but I'm not going to waste your time. I just want to show you. Oh wait, we got to save the shopping list because we have to save what we just checked off. And then I'm going to show you how you can print it. So you can print the shopping list and it'll have everything checked off. You can see here. You can see how short this is, even with the items left. Like I said, I probably have the oil and vinegars already on hand. I might have probably like the soy sauce, maybe salsa verde in my pantry. So this just saved us so much time, and I can go here and print the recipes too. So you can see how in less than 5 minutes, I just got together every single thing. I'm not actually going to print it, but everything I would need to make 8 more meals. This is such a time saver. It's crazy. These are really printer friendly recipes, black and white. Right here, it forced onto the second page something you can use as a label. You can cut and tape this to your bags. I mean, really just every single thing you need to like really quickly plan a next group of freezer meals. If you haven't joined yet, all you need to do is go to thefamilyfreezer.com/pro. thefamilyfreezer.com/pro, because that is where you are going to find that you can join for a one-time fee. No strings attached. You can use the site over and over and over again to make freezer meals. It's crazy, right? Lifetime membership. You can read about our members, what they love about the site. Everyone uses it differently. It's like amazing. I know so many members are even here today attending this class. Thank you. Like, you guys are the best. I love you. You can scroll down, read a little bit more about me, how I fell in love with freezer meals, and just really like figure out if it's going to work for you. Obviously, I think you're going to love it. I think you're going to get obsessed. I want to point out this bonus. So if you join today, you will get access to all of my cookbook ebooks. These are PDF files. There are over 20 available right now. When you log in, you're going to get the recipes, the shopping lists. Each ebook has its own shopping list. It has the pre-made labels. Whenever I write a new ebook, it's also added to the membership site for free. You'll see we have a keto one in there with some recipes you might like. So this is just like a really great bonus. Let's click join now. So I'm going to point out again, it's our $97 one-time fee. You're not going to get another bill in next month, next year. This is it. It's just a one-time fee. And this is a great deal. However, since you attend my class today, I am going to give you a coupon code to save even more. So if you enter the coupon code KETO, it's going to take off 20%. So you're only going to pay $77.60 to join. If you're here today and you paid the $97, do not feel bad about yourself. Like, you jumped on it. You're already saving time and money. If you're on a budget, you're going to join next month. Pay the $97. Like, seriously, when I am planning ahead, making freezer meals, I save at least $200 a month at the grocery store. To be completely honest, I calculated that a long time ago. Like, it is probably so much more right now. Groceries are so expensive, it's ridiculous. You're going to save so much money. So even the very first time you use the site and you make the freezer meals, you're already going to save more than like what you put in to your one-time fee. Like, you're already going to make it back. So if you pay the $97, sweet. If you can join over the next 2 days, use the coupon code KETO and save 20%. I want you to do that. I appreciate you. You took time out of your day. You're here at the class. Thank you. You're amazing. So use coupon code KETO for 2 days only. Save 20%. Take advantage now. This is the time. Let's go ahead and proceed to checkout so I can show you how it works. You put in all of your billing info, your email address, make sure there's no typos here. You're going to set up your account. So write down your username and password. I don't want you to lose them. Write them down on a piece of paper so you remember. You can join my free newsletter. I want you to do that. I always send out free recipes. Put it in your credit card info. And then you're going to click place order. And when you do that, you can check your email, this correct email with no typos, because you already going to have your link to log in, and you're going to use your username and password, and you could start using this today. Let's do a cooking demo. I want to show you how to make these meals. So I just kept the buffalo ranch shredded chicken out, and I'll show you how you would make it. So let's say we're going to do it in our crock pot. You have a really busy day ahead of you. You have stuff, maybe you're going to work, you're busy during the day. At the end of the day, you're busy too. You could have kids' activities. You could be helping out with your grandkids. So what you're going to do is you take this, And if your crock pot lets you add frozen meat, you're adding this frozen. If it doesn't, thaw it ahead of time, maybe put it in the refrigerator overnight. But you just dump this in, you put the lid on, and that's it. Like, cook it. You're not making a mess. You're not putting measuring spoons. You're not getting it on your clothes. You're done. And mine is a programmable slow cooker, so I could actually set it. So this one says put on low for 4 to 6 hours. So I would put it on low. I would up it to 4 hours because mine cooks very fast. And then I would let it sit on warm for the rest of the day. That's totally fine. It can sit on warm for hours. And then when we're ready to eat, we shred it up. This says, I look at my label, it says add 4 ounces of cream cheese. So it just says add the cream cheese and stir until incorporated. So I'm just stirring it up. Dinner is done. And I'm like, yes, freezer meals. Let's say your Instant Pot, it's maybe 3 o'clock, it's later in the day, and you're just like, what am I gonna have for dinner? I do not wanna order pizza. Like, I don't wanna get something expensive, less healthy. Oh my gosh, I made those freezer meals. Yes. Thank you, past self. This is amazing. So you take it right out of your freezer. You can put it right in here frozen. And this says pressure cook on high with the valve sealed for 12 minutes. So you seal the valve, you put the lid back on, dump it in. Seal it. Pressure cook 12 minutes, and then you naturally release for 5 minutes, manually release the pressure, shred the chicken, add the cream cheese, stir it up, really feel like a rock star because dinner is done, you made it yourself. So easy. It's just like the best way to make meals. So I just want to thank you for attending this class today. I do have some final shout outs. So Julie said, I'm a pro member. I've loved every recipe so far. Thank you, Julie. Karen said, I haven't been a member long, but I make these meals for my family and my mom. They're great for me because I get out late from work and feel guilty when I'm too tired to cook. I prepare 1 or 2 recipes on the weekend and have them for when I need them. Every recipe I've tried so far is delicious. For each recipe, I use 1 freezer bag for my family and divide my mom's portions into 2 freezer bags to give smaller portions and more meals for her. Love this. Amy, these dinners are delicious. I've been a member for over a year and love it. Amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Julie, Karen, Amy, I appreciate you so much. Please respond to my emails with your own success story. I can't tell you how many emails I get, how many messages I get on Instagram. I appreciate you. They really motivate me and just make me want to keep going, keep creating and sharing. Thank you so very much for taking this time out of your day. I think that's it. I'll see you next time.